out. So you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And then we're just gonna breathe in nice and deep, stretching up to overhead. And then as you exhale, relax the arms down to the side, open through the chest and shoulders. Very good. Twice more, palms in front of the chest. Breathe in, reach up. Nice deep breath, and then exhale, let it all go. Any rushing around you've been doing, just bring yourself into presence. And one more time, breathe and reach. Fill the lungs with air and exhale, relax. Open through the chest and shoulders. Fantastic. Just make sure you have a little bit of give in those knees. Heels are planted. Let those arms be heavy at the side. And we're just going to move into some nice gentle rotations here. We call these our gates of heaven. So let those arms be heavy, kind of slap it against the body. And you want to get that swivel through the hips. So less through the shoulders, more through the hips. Your hips push forward. There you go. And then just be intentional about your breathing here. So breathe through it. Kind of exhale as the arms slap against the body. We're using this to get some just general blood flow going. And also you have fluid that runs through your spinal canal. So that's helping this fluid to increase its flow, help keep your spine healthy. Very good. It's about one more each arm. And then go ahead and relax. Walk those feet just a little bit wider. We're going to bring the arms out to the side, pull the shoulder blades back, and with a nice bend into your legs, we're going to hinge the hips. So what I mean by that is we're going to send the hips back, reach over to the opposite leg. Engage the glutes as you stand. Long spine, reaching towards the opposite leg, standing tall. You can just start about the level of your knee or whatever feels comfortable to you, and then just look to get a little bit farther each time. And Sharon, you want to keep that spine long. So try not to round, but hinge at the hips. So you're setting your hips back. You want to feel it in your hamstrings. Yep, a little bit more bend in those knees. Sending those hips long, maybe one more each side. That's better. Long spine, over, squeeze the glute as you stand. Last time here, over and up. Fantastic. Relax the arms down, bring the feet in just a little bit closer. Next, we're going to interlace the fingers. Stretch straight up to overhead, lifting up out of your torso. We're just going to get a nice gentle rotation. So just a little bit of bend in the knees, heels are planted, rotate to one side, back to center, and then to the opposite side. Breathe in as you come back to neutral, looking straight ahead. And then as you rotate, just nice, gentle exhale. Breathe in, lift tall, and exhale as you rotate. One more each side. Over, straight up, and last time. Good job. Go to relax those arms down. Next, we're simply going to move into a side step with a nice arm swing here. Turning the palms forward as you open the shoulders. Squeeze the chest together. Sorry, opposite of that. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. There you go. Just a couple times here, side to side. All right, fantastic. We're going to go back to that overhead position, this time for a side stretch. So straight up, or you could also call this like a torso side bend. So get a good grounding into your legs, and then we're simply going to bend to one side. Breathe in, back to center, and then exhale as you bend towards the opposite side. Straight up, exhale. Good job. Straight up and exhale, bending to the side. Fantastic. One more each side. This time you're going to bend to the side and then bottom shoulder, rotate, just try to peer up towards the ceiling. One nice deep breath there. You'll probably feel it in the torso here, up. And then last time to the opposite side, bending to the side, down side shoulder, turning to the ceiling. Breathe up and shake it out. Fantastic. All right, from here, we're going to make our way down to the floor, kind of prep the lower body, get a little bit more stretching in. So if you need an extra pillow or a pad, anything for your knees, we are going to be doing a little bit of a lunge for some stretching for the hip flexors. Otherwise, let's go ahead and place the hands. We're going to stretch out those forearms. So palms down, fingers towards you, and you're just going to gently lay back and then rotate side to side. And then we're going to turn the fingers in so that they face one another. And from here, we're going to pivot around. So rotating around. You have a bunch of little tiny bones that live in the area of your wrist. So we're just trying to get the forearms stretched out and get some movement there. When the forearms get stiff, it limits how well your wrist can move. Very good. If you're comfortable to kneel, just kind of come up to a kneeling position for a second. Rotate the wrist around. And you can even kind of shake them out. There we go. All right, fantastic. From here, whenever we support on our hands, you always want to make a nice big handprint. So starfish hands, I've heard of before. Place them underneath the shoulders and think about gripping your fingertips down. That's going to activate all the small muscles of the wrist and help, of your hand and help support the wrist. Go ahead and walk your knees in so that they're touching. And then just very gently here, we're going to do what we call a quadruped hip rock. So with the knees together, I'm very gently rocking the hips from side to side. Fairly common here, you might get a little adjustment or a little crack in the low back, but use your guidance and intuition as far as how far do you want to stretch that hip, and just take it side to side 2 to 3 times. Good job. When you finish that, from here, we're going to go toes come together, big toes touch, then divide your knees, reach your arms long in front of the body, and you're going to drop the hips back, drop the head between the arms. And then just take some nice deep breaths here, breathing in the back of the spine, or thinking about breathing in the back of the rib cage. Once more, and exhale. Very good. Come on back to all fours, kind of center out the knees, place the hand well underneath the shoulder, whichever side you want to start on. From here, other hand's going to go behind the head. Bring the elbow towards the opposite elbow, and then you're going to lift up out of that bottom shoulder, rotate and peer up towards the ceiling. Bringing it down, lift up, peer towards the ceiling. Good job. Anywhere between 6 and 10 here. Pause in that open position. You want to get the most rotation as possible there. And here we're just encouraging some rotation through the rib cage. Help keep the low back happy, help keep the neck happy by maintaining the rotation of that mid back. That thoracic spine tends to get really stiff. So a couple more. Breathe in as you close. Exhale as you open. Again, following your elbow with your gaze, peering up towards the ceiling. Last one. Very good. Before we go to the other side, we're going to go into down dog in between. So wide handprint. Place it underneath the shoulders. Turn the toes under. You're going to drive your hips nice and high. And then as you push the hips up towards the ceiling, just gently pulse your head between the arms. Kind of rock forward onto your hands and then rock back. Hips drive high, opening through the mid back. After a couple of those, let's pedal out the heels. Get a nice stretch for the back of the calves. Dropping one heel towards the floor and then the other, just pedaling back and forth. All right, and then once you finish that calf stretch, we're going to come back down to all fours, and we're going to get those rotations on the opposite side of the body. So place the hand well, hand behind the head, elbow to elbow, rotate, lift up, peer over that shoulder. 6 to 10 on this side. Breathe in to close, exhale as you open. Continue to lift up out of that support shoulder. And peering over that shoulder, following your elbow with your eyes, gazing up towards the ceiling. Good job. Couple more. Fantastic. All right, from here, once you finish that, we're going to go ahead and swing over onto your back. We're going to stretch out the low back. All right. So pulling the shoulder blades together, flat on the floor, let the arms rest to the side. And we're just going to start by kind of pulling the legs in towards the chest, rocking side to side, double knee to chest. If everything's feeling good there, from here, we'll put the arms out at 90 degrees like scarecrow arms. And then you're going to bring both legs to one side, peer over the opposite shoulder. And again, use your midline. How far do you want to go into that twist? You decide what feels right for your body. Use the core, pull the legs up and across, and then take them to the opposite side. Again, following with your gaze, looking over the opposite shoulder. Breathe in as you pull the legs up and across. Exhale as you drop into that twist, turning the head the other way. Good job. 2 to 3 times each side. Just go off your own feel. Up and across. I think about pulling that low back into the floor as I bring the legs up and across. Very good. Once you finish that, we're going to go into some glute bridges. Start to get some activation in the back side of the body. So with the knees bent, feet flat on the ground, hands can rest at the side. We're just going to simply push the hips up and forward, pull the chin in towards your chest. Get a nice lengthening in the back of the neck. Hips go down, hips go up. We're going to go about 30 seconds here. So just at your own tempo, pausing in that open position for a couple counts. Chin pulls in, pushing tall. And as you push those hips forward, think about lengthening through the low back. So still think about keeping space and squeezing those glutes. Get those big muscles to fire. It's one of the biggest muscles in your body. You want to wake up all those muscle tissues. Good job. Let's go one more here. Up and hold. Down and relax. Very good. From here, we're going to roll onto our side. A little bit more glute and core activation with our side plank clamshells. So you're going to have the elbow stacked right underneath the shoulders. Bend the knees. So this is not like a modification. The exercise is done with the knees bent. And you're going to hold this top leg up throughout. Lifting up out of that shoulder. Lift the hips up straight towards the ceiling and then push them forward towards the camera. Back and down, assuming you're facing the screen. Straight up and push them forward. We're going to go 30 seconds here. Back and down. Just at your own tempo. So you kind of start to feel that bottom glute and hip start to fire. Activate some of your midline core strength as well. Very nice. Up and open, lifting. Hands go one more. And go ahead and relax. Swing it around. Same thing on the other side. So people tend to set the elbow wide here. Pull the elbow in, make sure it's straight underneath your shoulder, knees bent, legs stacked, top leg up, and whenever you're ready, straight up towards the ceiling first, and then just gently push the hips forward, firing the glute, back and down, drive it up, and push it forward, back and down. Good work. Breathing. Normal to feel a little bit awkward. If you feel silly, it's a good time just to smile, kind of laugh at yourself. It's always normal to feel awkward, especially if you're doing something new or if it's been a while. You know, not every day that you're just on your side, kind of looking like a starfish. Let's go one more, up and hold, and down and relax. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and swing it back to the other side. Give that shoulder a rest. We're going to stretch out the quads next. So grab the top foot, pull the heel towards the glutes. If you can't grab your foot, you can use a band, a rope, a scarf, anything to help get that foot. Good job. 20 seconds here. All right, good time to breathe here. Just gently driving the thigh back. Ideally, we want to be able to touch the heel to the glute, but you don't want to force it. And relax, swing it around. Same thing, other side. Pull that elbow in, grabbing that top foot, pulling it straight back. All right, so our first circuit that we're warming up here today, some deadlift work. So we're going to do a little bit warm up, standing up, kind of making sure we're feeling good, touching our toes. But before we come to our feet, we're going to prep for our push-ups. So watch that top shoulder, pulling it back. A couple more seconds here.